Welcome back, guys. Today, we're going to continue part 2 of the New Edition story. If you haven't seen part 1, I highly recommend you check that out right now. Links to the video will be in the description below. And without further ado, let's continue with the story of New Edition, part 2. After the tour ended, New Edition decided to pursue solo projects. Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis held the best kept secret when they suggested that Ricky Bell, Michael Bivins, and Ronnie DeVoe should form their own group as the background singers of New Edition. They would call the group Biv DeVoe. In March 1990, Biv DeVoe released their first album, Poison. Headlined by the New Jack Swing lead track, Poison showed a different side of Biv DeVoe. New Edition was known for being professional and classy, while Biv DeVoe was sexually explicit and risque. Poison would peak at number 3 on the pop charts, and other singles included Do Me, Baby D, I Thought It Was Me, When Will I See You Smile Again, and Dope. The group will take home 2 American Music Awards for their works. Around the same time, Michael Bivins began to flex himself as a businessman, creating his own Biv 10 Records with a joint deal with Motown. Notable acts on the label included Boyz II Men, who is an R&B group that I can't do justice on this video, Another Bad Creation, a kid group from Atlanta known for the hit Aisha, and 702, in their early days before becoming Next was Johnny Gill. Instead of releasing his solo deal with MCA, Gerald Busby, who is now the executive at Motown, sent him there. In April 1990, he released his solo album, which featured the top 10 singles Rub You the Right Way, and My My My. His album was also successful, going platinum. Lastly was Ralph Tresvant. After many delays on his project, he finally released his solo album in November. His album was headlined by the song Sensitivity, Stone Cold Gentleman, and Do What I Gotta Do. His album will also go platinum. As for Bobby Brown, he began to make headlines. In 1992, he married R&B princess Whitney Houston, but the marriage was marked by infidelity, cocaine use, and possible domestic violence. The couple will eventually divorce in 2006. But in 1992, he released his third album, Bobby. And although it had hit singles like Humpin' Around and Good Enough, it didn't match the success of Don't Be Cruel. After the disappointing third album, Bobby decided to take a break from music to focus on his wife and new daughter. As a matter of fact, each member's follow-up projects didn't match the success of their previous, leaving them all into debt. Knowing that MCA still needed another New Edition project and promising their fans to reunite, the boys came together and reunited. Even Bobby Brown decided to join in. In 1996, New Edition released their first album in 8 years called Home Again. It is also the first New Edition album to debut at number 1 on the Billboard 200s. Singles included Hit Me Off, which is New Edition's highest charting single to date, peaking at number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100. I'm Still in Love with You, which peaked at number 7 on the Billboard Hot 100.
I'm still the man for you, and I'm still the man that's true.
You Don't Have to Worry, a track produced by Puff Daddy and written by an Atlanta R&B group known as 112. And One More Day, which is a Ricky Bell solo.
I just need one more day.
The album was very successful, going double platinum. With all 6 members, you would think a reunion would be sweet, and it started off well, but old wounds began to surface when the Home Again tour kicked off. It's been nearly 6 years since 5 members shared the stage, and what you got was an ego trip. The Home Again tour was marred by egos, unruly entourages, and separate tour buses. Every member of New Edition had missed at least one show, except Johnny Gill. Ron and Ricky battled illness, Ralph was still coping with the unexpected passing of his mother, Michael had business obligations with Biv 10, and Bobby was, well, Bobby. Most of the tension was kept under control until a show in Las Cruces, New Mexico. Now, sources differ depending on who's telling the story. It is believed that Bobby Brown was extending his set per usual, and Ronnie had enough and tried to pull Bobby off stage. While Biv DeVoe was performing their set, Bobby tried to disrupt the performance with a fire extinguisher. When that failed, Bobby and his entourage rushed the stage, leading to a brawl. Things were so chaotic, one of Ronnie's henchmen fired a gun and it misfired. Now, according to the movie, everyone left the tour under ugly circumstances. However, in reality, it was Michael and Bobby that left the tour early, and the rest of the members finished the tour underwhelmingly. After the Home Again era ended, the members again went their separate ways. Johnny Gill would endure the most success this go-round as he joined forces with Gerald Levert and Keith Sweat to form LSG. They scored a major hit with My Body.
My body all over your body. Should it feel so good?
Ronnie moved to Atlanta and he got into real estate. While there, he marries the lead singer of Black, Shamari Fears. Bivins' label went under in 2002. Ralph maintained a low profile during this hiatus. And in a recent DJ Vlad interview, Ricky revealed he struggled with a cocaine addiction and went to rehab. Bobby Brown continued to make headlines for all the wrong reasons. Brown would suffer a stroke in 1999 as a result of his drug habits. Brown was arrested for any and everything from probation violation, battery, DWI, unpaid child support, and etc. He was able to let some of the charges go and add on to his bad boy image, but the one that haunts him to this day was in 2003 when he allegedly struck Whitney Houston. In 2002, most of the members of New Edition began to reconcile and tour again. In one of their concerts, they were spotted by Sean Diddy Combs. There, he offered the boys a lucrative deal on his label Bad Boy after their MCA contracts had ended. In 2004, they released One Love, their 7th album. But the boys ran into an integrity problem. Creative differences led the album to its disappointment. One incident was when Diddy refused to pay their longtime producers Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis for a track they did. Diddy's excuse was that New Edition was over budget, even though New Edition used most of Diddy's team to produce that project. Next, with most of the members in their late 30s, they also realized that they were beginning to be too old to compete with a younger market. In 2005, New Edition asked and were granted their contractual release. Over the next 10 years, the members would dabble between their touring talents and their individual projects. In 2015, BET announced that they will be releasing a 3-part biopic telling the story of New Edition. Actors included Keith Powers, who played the role of Ronnie, Woody McClain, who played the role of Bobby Brown, Elijah Kelly, who played the role of Ricky, Rashiri Gray, who played the role of Michael Bivins, Algie Smith, who played the role of Ralph Tresvant, and Luke James, who played the role of Johnny Gill. 2 years later, in January, it was released to positive reviews. This will be the last project that Stephen Hill was involved in, as he resigned from the network shortly after. That same year, BET gave each member the Lifetime Achievement Award at the BET Awards. That same year, the boys also received their star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. The next year, in 2018, it will be Bobby Brown's turn to tell his story. In September 2018, the Bobby Brown story was released to positive reviews. Woody McClain returned to reprise his role, as did most actors. Gabrielle Dennis played the role of Whitney Houston. Mekhi Phifer played the role of Tommy, who is Bobby Brown's brother. In 2021, New Edition got the opportunity to perform at the American Music Awards alongside with another Boston band known as New Kids on the Block, and it was the first time that both bands shared the stage. Today, New Edition is recognized as one of the pioneer boy bands. If it wasn't for New Edition, you wouldn't see boy bands like New Kids on the Block, Boyz II Men, NSYNC, and many others. And now, nearly 40 years later, New Edition is still touring and performing around America. And that is the New Edition story. Tell me what y'all think in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.